With the release of MaXXXine last weekend, Ty West has delivered us the final chapter in his X Trilogy. Does this final segment deliver us a killer climax, or are we just left with blue balls? What's going on, everyone, and welcome to my review of MaXXXine, the final film in the X Trilogy, directed by Ty West. This is a film that I've been curious about. I will say that I wasn't as excited as most other people. I didn't feel like, because I wasn't a big fan of X, and Pearl I liked very, very much, but I liked that because we were following Pearl, and with MaXXXine, obviously following MaXXXine, I was a little bit hesitant going into it, but I went and checked it out last weekend on opening night, and here are my thoughts. So what MaXXXine gets right is the production value, the setting, the time period, all the outfits and everything like that. In my review for either X or Pearl, I can't remember which one it was, I said no matter whether MaXXXine ends up being a great movie or a terrible movie, one thing that is going to be for sure is that the production value and set design is going to be great. And that is absolutely true. Ty West has done a great job in all three of these films, creating a completely different aesthetic from one another, and MaXXXine absolutely succeeds in that. I really like the soundtrack that was in this film. You know, you've got a very kind of synth-heavy style, and even some of the needle drops that they put in here, it's not the same 10 songs that they always use. In fact, one of them I was shocked that they used, a Judas Priest song. I was like, holy shit, you gotta be kidding me. This is like my favorite Judas Priest song, and I don't hear people talk about it very much. So that was a big surprise for me. And the gore, while it is painfully infrequent, when it is here, it is very good. It's squishy, it's bloody, it's disgusting, it's nasty. It gave it to me. It gave what I wanted. But unfortunately, while I had a decent enough time with this film, I was certainly entertained the whole time. I was engaged. I wasn't bored by it at all. The script here is really, really poor, I think. To call this a first draft would be generous, honest to God. How X and Pearl came out within so close in such a short time span of each other and feel like fully complete and realised films, even though I'm not a fan of X, that film, you can't deny, it does feel like it is a completed project. MaXXXine feels like it was slapped together in a day and just thrown out, even though there was about a 2-year wait from Pearl. It's really unfocused. It's a mystery film without any mystery, but it's also a horror film without any scares. It's a thriller film without any thrills. It kind of just feels like stuff. It doesn't feel like a specific genre, really. It doesn't feel, because each time it tries to dabble its feet into one of those things, horror, thriller, or mystery, it just falls on its face with it. As I said, the visuals and the soundtrack was keeping me entertained, but when it actually comes to delivering a mystery, I had an idea of the actual twist in the very first scene of the film, but then I was like, I convinced myself into thinking that that wasn't what was going to happen, because I was like, no, that's just too lame, that's too generic, there's no way they're just going to do that. That would be the most bland reveal ever. Lo and behold, we get to the third act, and that is exactly what happens. It's just like, you gotta be kidding me. And it actually makes the rest of the film worse in hindsight, because I was having a lot of fun actually picking out what the twist might be, or who the identity of the Night Stalker might be throughout the film. I was like, oh, maybe it's this character, and this is why. And everything I had in my head was cooler than the actual reveal, because I was just like, there's no way they could go with that reveal, but they did. Also, MaXXXine is a really dreadful character. All these people that are saying that she's a new Scream Queen, I don't know what you're on. She's got no personality. She's extremely passive. She kind of just sits or stands there. And she's a complete psychopath. Like, she does some stuff in this film where you're like, you're not right. I don't like you. No, you're weird. And she never gets an arc or anything like that. And one of the biggest problems for me was that the reason X and Pearl was so interesting with those two characters played by Mia Goth is that they kind of were parallel to each other. And you see in Pearl, she goes off this end. She tries to be a star, but she fails. I want to see what happened in MaXXXine, but the film opens with her getting the role in this Hollywood film. And then that's all they really do when comparing the two kind of similarities and differences between those mirror characters. It just feels so shallow and unrealized. So overall, this film is the definition of style over substance. I wasn't expecting that much from it, but it kept me entertained. I didn't have a terrible time watching it. I had a couple of laughs, but overall, this is a film that if you're going to give it a watch, make sure to watch it with some friends and some beverages. So that is my review of MaXXXine. Let me know what you thought of that film in the comments. I will be doing my review of Longlegs very soon as well. But like MaXXXine, it's releasing a week later in Australia than in the States. So apologies for that, but nothing I can do about it. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye.